Welcome to Scoreflow. For Manchester City, this season kept feeding one idea: the cracked empire. Today, we revisit Manchester City's 24-25 campaign and the fault lines that made that theme impossible to ignore. A Manchester derby to open the season, as Bernardo Silva's late equaliser forced a 1-1 draw before City lifted the Community Shield on penalties 7-6 at Wembley. From the showpiece to the league grind, City went to Stamford Bridge and won 2-0, with Haaland and Kovacic on target. After that statement in London, composure at the Etihad as Haaland's hat-trick and a De Bruyne strike turned an early setback into a 4-1 over Ipswich. Momentum carried on to the London Stadium, where Haaland's treble overcame a Ruben Dias own goal in a 3-1 at West Ham. Back home, two from Haaland flipped an early Wissa strike as City edged Brentford 2-1. European business began against Inter with a controlled 0-0 at the Etihad, the first step in the league stage. Back to league hostilities, John Stones snatched a stoppage-time leveller as a tense meeting with Arsenal finished 2-2. Cup rotation, same outcome. Daku and Mateus Nunes struck early as Watford was seen off 2-1, City into the round of 16 despite a late scare. At St James's Park, Guardiola's first half goal brought a 1-1 and a point on the road. Switching back to Europe, City cruised past Slovan Bratislava 4-0 with 4 different scorers. After the European cruise, edge at the Etihad as Kovacic's brace and Doku settled a breathless 3-2 over Fulham. Carrying form to Molineux, Guardiola and a last-gasp Stones winner turned it City's way, 2-1 against Wolves. European rhythm at home as Haaland's double headlined a 5-0 dismantling of Sparta Praha. After that 5-star night, a single Haaland strike did the job in a tight 1-0 against Southampton. Cup knockout at Tottenham brought a 1-2 exit. Mateus Nunes' reply not enough to avoid elimination. Back to league duty at the Vitality. Guardiola's late effort couldn't save a 1-2 defeat, though the scoring streak in the league reached 10 straight. Europe bit hard in Lisbon, a 1-4 reverse to Sporting as Gyökeres hit a hat-trick and City's missed penalty compounded a damaging night. Switching back to the league, Haaland's opener at Brighton couldn't prevent a 1-2 defeat. Hoping for a response at the Etihad, City instead suffered a brutal 4-0 collapse to Tottenham, with Maddison striking twice. Back under European lights, Haaland's double had City 3-1 up before late blows left it 3-3 with Feyenoord. Anfield proved unforgiving, a controlled Liverpool display handing City a 2-0 defeat. Needing a lift back home, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne and Doku delivered a calm 3-0 over Nottingham Forest. At Selhurst Park, an open contest ebbed to 2-2 with Haaland and Lewis on target. The focus swung to Turin, where Juventus handed City a clinical 2-0 defeat that extended European frustrations. Derby day at the Etihad turned on late drama. Guardiola's strike overturned as United stole it 1-2. At Villa Park, a late Foden consolation framed another 1-2 reverse as the search for a response continued. Back at the Etihad, Bernardo Silva's goal and a missed spot kick bookended a 1-1 with Everton. On the road at the King Power, Savinho and Haaland secured a tidy 2-0. Momentum restored at home as Haaland's brace and 2 more sealed a 4-1 against West Ham. Cup cruise at the Etihad, McCarthy's hat-trick and Doku's double powering an 8-0 over Salford to reach the 4th round. Back to league travel, Foden's brace had City ahead before a late Brentford rally made it 2-2. No overthinking, just ruthlessness at Portman Road as City ran out 6-0, Foden among the doubles. Switching back to European heavyweights, City led briefly in Paris before a Paris Saint-Germain surge turned it into a 2-4 loss sealed late. Home to Chelsea brought a composed comeback, Guardiola, Haaland and a late Foden finish completing a 3-1. To close the league stage at the Etihad, City overturned a deficit to beat Club Brugge 3-1, helped by an own goal and strikes from Kovacic and Savinho. From European control to North London pain, Arsenal handed City a 1-5 collapse on a sobering league night. Attention switched to the FA Cup, where an Ortega own goal was rescued by Kusanov and De Bruyne in a 2-1 turnaround to reach the fifth round. A heavyweight first leg at the Etihad saw Haaland scored twice, but late Madrid punches left City trailing 2-3. Back to league matters. Omar Marmoush lit up the Etihad with a hat-trick in a 4-0 against Newcastle. At the Bernabeu, Mbappe's hat-trick decided the tie as City bowed out despite a late Nico Gonzalez reply in a 1-3 second-leg defeat. Returning to league combat, Liverpool's clinical edge brought a 2-0 defeat at the Etihad. Needing a lift in North London, Haaland struck early and City held firm for a 1-0 at Tottenham. After that hard-won league scalp, O'Reilly's brace and a late De Bruyne clincher eased a 3-1 past Plymouth to reach the quarter-finals. League business on the road brought a stark reminder, Hudson-Odoi late on sealing a 1-0 defeat at Nottingham Forest. Back at the Etihad, Haaland's penalty and an Omar Marmoush strike were cancelled out, and a Kusanov own goal left it 2-2 with Brighton. Quarter-final duty at the Vitality, where a missed penalty didn't derail a 2-1 comeback as Haaland and Omar Marmoush sent City to Wembley. After booking a semi-final, City kept it steady at home, Grealish and Omar Marmoush securing a 2-0 against Leicester. Old Trafford, tight margins and no breakthrough as the derby ended 0-0. Back on home ground, City roared from behind to beat Crystal Palace 5-2 with 5 different scorers. Goodison Park yielded patience then payoff, O'Reilly and Kovacic striking late for a 2-0. At the Etihad, Bernardo Silva and a stoppage-time Mateus Nunes edged Aston Villa 2-1 despite a first-half penalty against. Under the Wembley arch, Lewis and Guardiola struck in each half as City beat Nottingham Forest 2-0 to reach the FA Cup final. Coming off that semi-final high, a measured De Bruyne finish delivered a 1-0 over Wolves. At St Mary's, the hunt for control met resistance in a cagey 0-0. In the FA Cup final at Wembley, City were edged 1-0 by Crystal Palace, a missed penalty haunting a night when silverware slipped away. Back to league matters. Omar Marmoush and Bernardo set the tone before Nico Gonzalez's late strike sealed a 3-1 over Bournemouth despite a stoppage-time reply. On the final day, City won 2-0 at Fulham through Gundogan and a Haaland penalty to cement Champions League football and extend the league unbeaten run to 10. From early control and Haaland's 3-1 to a brutal winter, 4-0 to Tottenham, 2-0 to Liverpool, then the 5-1 collapse at the Emirates, Europe slipped away to Madrid after a 2-3 at the Etihad and a 1-3 in Madrid, yet City rebuilt their edge, a 5-0 over Sparta Praha, a Wembley semi 2-0 over Nottingham Forest, a final decided 1-0 by Crystal Palace and a missed penalty, before a 10-match unbeaten run and a last day 2-0 at Fulham locked in third. The cracked empire didn't fall under the charges cloud without Rodri, and as De Bruyne and Cheeky waved goodbye, it bent, found 10 comebacks and finished successful in spirit, if not in silver. Thanks for watching Scoreflow. Please like, share and subscribe.